Top of the morning to you. Thank you for joining us and thank you for tuning in to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station. From our studio right now, it is 6:32 a.m. today, Monday, the 10th day in the month of November 2025. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo, and with that, I welcome you to Perspectives Unlimited on 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station. We're broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House along Galafin Avenue, Uluyole Estate, Ibadan, the capital of your state. We say good morning to you and thank you for joining us. Hope you had a great night rest, and we pray that this morning, this week, will definitely be a blessed one and great one for you roundabout. Remember, this week, as you forge ahead to be the best version of yourself, other people are doing the same thing, to be the best version of themselves. So, not in any way, do you stand in other people's ways, rather in misrepresentation or otherwise. Let's do it according to the will of God, as we will want it to be done to us too. Let's dive straight into the dailies for today. We have the Punch newspaper right in the studio, the Guardian, and also the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And of course, from that, we will be taking the front page stories and serving you that. Right after that, a very capable analyst is standing by to help us understand all the stories that we will be, dishing out to you one after another today on the program. We're going to start with the Punch newspaper. On page 33, crude oil revenue plunges by 43%. On page 38. And on page 8, drugs, Regina Nwoko in fresh bitter showdown. On page 8. And on page 2, Soludo's Anambra win sparks political storm. On page 2. And on page 8, genocide, PFN, Islamic Council in verbal crossfire. On page 8. And on page 2, PDP crisis, 3,000 delegates set for high-stakes convention. The writer says Makinde, Wike camps, trade blows as delegate gear up for convention. And that's the major story this morning on the Nigerian or the Punch newspaper. And of course, the photo story here, recruits of the 89 regular intake of the Depot Nigerian Army Oshogbo Osun State in action during the inter-company obstacle crossing competition in Oshogbo on Saturday. And the photograph is courtesy of the Defense Headquarters of the Nigerian Army. Now let's move on to page 9. The federal government vows tighter security after UK flags northern states unsafe. On page 9. And on page 4, 15 girls rescued from Ondo sex trafficking network. On page 4. And on page 9, Aregbe Shola's backing can't save Adeleke, says APC chieftain. That you find on page 9. And also this story that I'm sure a lot of Nigerians are not aware about. Federal government confirms 700 jailed for terrorism. That's a good one. We're going to touch that very quickly. Federal government jailed 700 for terrorism, as against what some Nigerians may think that those probably prosecuted or something for terrorism have a field day. But this story is confirming that 700 of them have been jailed for terrorism-related stories. It's on the Punch this morning. Moving on to the Guardian newspaper, HEDA urges Tinubu to pause 15% of fuel import tariff amid hardship. On page 5. And on page 3, court hears motion on PDP November convention today. It's on page 3. And on the same page, IMF, Nigeria discuss reforms, new development plan. On page 3. On page 6, Soludo triumphs in Anambra as ADC observers decry vote buying. Soludo triumphs in Anambra as ADC observers decry vote buying. Moving on to, let's look at the scorecard here. And of course, the data as to winning in Anambra State. ABGA getting, that's Chukwuma Soludo, the incumbent, 422,644. And of course, the APC, 99,445. And of course, the Progressives Party, 37,753. Well, let's look at the election overview here. Registered voters in the state, you can also do the mathematics while I reel out some of the numbers. Registered voters in Anambra State, total 2,788,864 registered voters. Accredited voters, 598,229 accredited voters. And of course, rejected votes, 11,244. Valid votes, 584,054 valid votes. And total vote cast in the election, 595,298. Without doing any form of subtraction and addition, registered voters, 2,788,864. Accredited voters, 5,989,229, as against 2 million or 2.7 registered for the election. The remaining over 400,000, or let's say half the number, didn't come out to accredit at all for the election. Why? And of course, the total number of vote cast is 595,289. If you look at that as against the total number of accredited voters, say fair enough. If you're accrediting 598,000, and of course, total number of vote cast is 595, that's still a good number. And of course, Chukwuma Soludo, the incumbent governor, walking away with 422,644 votes. Still not a bad number compared to the number of accredited voters. But we should be concerned. Why exactly would 2,788,000 register for the election and only 598,229 would be accredited for the election? We'll look at that and more this morning on the program. Let's go to page 5. Awujale Olawumi, once again, violation of traditions, customary law on page 5. Bakoba, how Nigeria can improve Naira value, urge volatility. And on page 6, Donald Trump's comment, threatening national unity, NSCIA wants damage retractions. I'll demand retractions, I beg your pardon, on page 6. Anambra Serap, both party urge INEC to prosecute vote buying on page 7. And of course, finally, Nigeria loses $8 billion yearly to ideal seafarers, delay CVFF disbursement. Let's go to the Vanguard very quickly. Plot to take over Nest Oil, interest on OML, 42 unravels. You see that on the front page of the Vanguard today. Anambra showdown, how Soludo's tsunami swept all 21 local government in the state. Governor hails INEC, security agencies, poll records best turnout in 20 years. Candidate stakeholders fit the governor. Winner and losers. Serap wants sponsor of vote buying probed, prosecuted. Anambra Rec dismisses claims of vote buying. Tinubu congratulates winner, says his re-election affirms victory of visionary leadership. On page 19, federal government exceed 2025 borrowing target by 55.6%, expected to hit 80% by the year end. Two stories connected to Donald Trump threats to Nigeria. American or Anglican primate to federal government seek foreign help if you can't stop the killings. On page 9, U.S. watch list Nigeria not in religious war, says NSCIA on page 9. On the same page, United Kingdom once again travel to 6 states in the country. And on page 13, autonomy, no evidence to show allocation reach local government directly, says ICPC. That's all we can take on the front page this morning. Once again, let me also welcome us again to a brand new week and, of course, to Perspectives Unlimited this morning on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station. You can watch us live on our Facebook page this morning on Facebook, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, and you can stream us live on our website, www.wellsradio893fm fan page. On Radio Garden, we're there with the name again, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Welcome to the program.
There are complaints of vote buying here and there, and then other things that are follows. And he says he's going to get back there and then look at it and then get back to me. Well, I've not heard from him yet, but head or tail, it has been, like you said, it's a big monster that has to be addressed. If not, it will take us to back, better than where we have been before now. Worse than where we have been before now. But in all, if there's no seller, there cannot be a buyer.
Some of them came to my house to say, oh, you must give us money to buy votes so that you don't lose on your polling booth. I said, I am ready to lose in my polling booth. I cannot buy vote. He who goes to equity must go with clean hands. If my people, with everything I have done and my credentials, and they feel that they prefer to sell their votes and support the government that has created woes for them, the government that is using talks, the government that is breeding corruption by refusing to computerize the activities of our state. Good luck to them.
We were in Ekwebu. We asked 5 wards and the 13 polling units. Till we left, both accreditation and voting have not commenced. And they were so, because it is Iraq, and there are so many ANEC personnel and materials yet to leave that point to their polling unit. Actually, ANEC personnel came to us to escalate their situation. There is some, and we were there when a bus left without police personnel, without security personnel.
There is no other way. There is, in this election, you can count on your fingers the number of real actors that contested this election. None of them presented a vision, an alternative vision to the Anambra. Okay? None of them has anything, in fact, in terms of even name recognition, because you don't just vote for a party, you also vote for the candidate.
Okay, I think the sustenance of security, there has been an improvement on security, and the people came out here to vote massively for whoever that is their choice. So I plead to maintain the status quo, and also let there be an improvement on security of lives and property, then also on the economy too.
Once we have good governance, I think all we just needed is done. And what am I saying? We're talking about infrastructure. When you're talking about infrastructure, it's not only infrastructure about structures, but also building on human capacity.
Well, for this my area now, we need good road and electricity. This is what we lack.
Because in the history of Anambra's politics, you look at the be it in terms of the percentage of registered voters that voted in this election, about 22%. Never before. You've broken the 20% glass ceiling, as it were. In terms of percentage of votes actually also made to any incumbent. This is the third time a governor has been re-elected in Anambra's history since the beginning of this republic, since 1999. In 2010, you re-elected a governor with about 31% of the votes cast. In 2017, you re-elected a governor with 56% of the votes cast. In this one, they were very emphatic, very, very emphatic by re-electing a governor. Yours sincerely, and my deputy, Dr. Onyeka Chukwuibezim, with 73% of the votes cast.
Welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited, once again on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Chukwemeka Monachi says, with me in the studio, indeed the true son of the soil, to, of course, speak to us as we go through the dailies. And your state also is Anambra State, and I'm sure you must have followed that very closely. To see the activity. We just listened to the voice of the governor. Do we say governor-elect now? Or the incumbent governor, who is also going to be returning. That's Professor Chukwuma Soludo. And also highlighting some of, what makes this particular election spectacular from the previous. Before I'd let Chukwemeka weigh in on this, I'm very concerned about the number. And then the percentage.
Yes.
Let me run through that again for those who missed it earlier. In the just concluded Anambra State election, the number of registered voters, 2,788,864, while the number of accredited voters moved to 598,229. 11,244 votes were rejected. 584,054 valid votes, and the total number of vote cast 595,298. Well, the incumbent governor Chukwuma Soludo walked away with 422,644 votes. His counterpart in the APC 99,445, and of course the Progressives Party 37,753. Good number, you'd say, for Chukwuma Soludo, but I'm particularly concerned with the number of registered voters and the number of accredited voters, as this particular election is set to be a testing ground, so to say, for what we should expect in the 2027 general elections in Nigeria. But let's start with Anambra State before we now look at this and the bigger picture come 2027.
You see, Ayo, I was highly disappointed. Because if you look at the number, some newspapers said 2.8 million registered, and 500,000 and above were accredited, and 11,000 rejected votes. And you look at it, you are disappointed in the fact that people still don't want to come out to vote. Why will 2.8 million people registered, collected their PVC, and 500,000 got accredited, and votes were still rejected? There are so many reasons for this. Let me start from rejected votes. It may be as a result of not voting in a normal way.
In the normal way, which brings us to voter education.
Yes, which is a problem again that INEC will need to address. Because when you said 11,000 votes were rejected,
all right,
wrong thumb printing, INEC has a lot to do. Now, in all of this, the only thing that made me happy was that there was no loss of life. You understand? We had a lot of issues, people saying IPOB, ESN, and everything, and it goes to show that actually these things are not really the reality on the ground. Because I was looking at people coming out to vote. The issue of vote buying is still a problem that we need to address. Because votes were traded between 3,000 and 20,000. Anambra State is not a place where you go with food. Nobody will collect food from you. It's not a place where you go with grounded pepper or cup of garri you give them. No. They are above that one, but it is all about money. Somebody said it is it's like a market, and it's like a vote cash drenched spectacle. That's how somebody described it. Highly monetized. This issue of vote buying is a monster in our election, and it's not going to help our democracy. Because when you buy vote, when you agree to collect money to vote, you have already monetized your conscience. If you don't have any reason to expect good governance, because you have already sold what should have given you an opportunity to have good governance. And the more we still emphasize on money, the more less credible people will still be coming out. Because whoever gives you money to vote for him has already declared to you that he has nothing to offer you. Anambra election he has come, a winner has emerged. Let's watch and see. But because I said it earlier on this platform that if a winner is determined by the court, it is still not yet uhuru for us when it comes to democracy.
I mean, I'm sure politicians may want to go to court.
They may want to go to court.
We're looking at this number when Soludo alone is taking over
400 and something.
And then we have just less than 600,000, all total vote cast.
There is still a problem, Ayo. We are not yet come to where Nigerians will participate in this democracy. And democracy is nothing if there's no citizen participation. If citizens are shunning voting, there is a reason why they are shunning it. Why are they not coming? Why should 2.8 million people collect their PVC and 500,000 and some fractions came out, were accredited, and how many came out to vote? And even in the midst of that voting, 11,000 we didn't still vote right. So there is still a lot of jobs to be done. I hope the INEC chairman and his team will take this Anambra experiment to their board and look at what has gone wrong. Which areas are they going to improve? We didn't hear of ballot snatching.
Yeah.
We didn't hear of it. That's a plus. We didn't hear of gunshot. That's a plus. We didn't hear of, some of these things that characterize other former elections. We didn't hear of them. But vote buying is still on the front burner. And we still need to address the problem of vote buying.
Now, prior to the election, the chairman of INEC, announced that the number of police released and also the Inspector General of Police, I think about 11,000 of them, if I'm not mistaken now. Who exactly are we going to hold responsible, aside from people selling their conscience, which is a conversation across board? And I want to believe that the media outlet in Anambra must have also played a significant role in ensuring that they educate people. Poverty is in the land, that we know. That may be another conversation. But the act in itself and then the heavy presence of, security personnel, do we blame INEC for vote buying?
No, we
blame the security personnel for not maybe manning the gates appropriately. Who do we hold responsible for that? At least someone must be held responsible.
The police must be held responsible. INEC officials may not. The police we know, because that presence of the police presence in Anambra State was overwhelming. And from what I heard from home, they were vote buying. People were buying votes, and they said security people looked the other way. Even INEC officials looked away. You understand? So we can't rule out. We can't rule out the complicity of security operatives in the whole drama of buying and selling. But the issue is that why should people buy and sell their votes? That's the question. And what happened in Anambra State is a pointer to what we are going to expect in 2027.
In 2027.
Yes.
Before the election, the INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amokwito, lamented that despite Anambra's impressive register of 2.8 million registered voters, the state has historically recorded poor turnout during governorship elections. He recalled that in 2013, voter turnout stood at 25.5%. That's 413 valid votes from 1.7 million registered voters in 2013. And then it dropped to 20.1% in 2017. 422,314 votes from 2.3 million registered voters. And of course, 10.27% in 2021, 241,523 votes from 2.4 registered voters. And on Saturday again, 597,000 of 2.7 eligible voters were accredited to vote, which translates to 21.4%. Valid votes were 595,000, while rejected ballot about 11,000. Chukwuma Soludo is already taking this, of course, to the market as a big win. But is this truly
a big win?
A big win, as should politicians be concerned? Of course, the highest person would walk away with the win.
No. Politicians are not concerned about. They are only concerned about
the
winning
total by the total numbers.
No, they are not concerned
I mean, academically, I remember while growing up in the primary and secondary school, in some institutions where you get positions, and I know sometimes in my school positions were stopped, but percentage, was a thing, and people want to compare, and so if you say you are 90 something, and then maybe you're taking first position, and then you're wondering. If you're 90 something, 90 to 100, there's still 92, there's still 97. Should politicians be bothered?
They are not
or
bothered.
should Nigerians be bothered that a significant number of us is not electing our leaders into office?
No, the people that truly love our country should be bothered. The people that truly want to enthrone through democracy should be bothered. But politicians are not bothered because all they're after is to win. They are not bothered about. I will tell you a story, Ayo. I had a friend who was working with an oil company in Lagos some years ago. There was a problem in the oil company, and they were looking for ways to solve the problem. And this guy eventually solved the problem, but he didn't solve the problem through the means established by that oil company, and they sacked him. Somebody solved the problem. You let him go, because I now asked him, why did they let you go after you solved the problem? They paid him off. They said he took an illegal route to solve the problem. So there is an established order through which you can win through fraud and call yourself a winner. People will still say you won, but you became fraudulent. You won through fraudulent means. People will still call you a winner. So that guy was sacked. And I was until he explained to me what happened in that company. They laid down rules. He circumvented the laid down rules, solved the problem. He was sacked. Now, politicians in Nigeria will not be bothered about what is actually the fate of democracy in Nigeria, as far as they are declared the winner. But the people who truly love democracy will wonder and will be traumatized that why should our people not participate in voting? What is the problem? How do we solve the problem? That is why I brought that story. So, if people who truly want a genuine democracy in this country should be bothered that people will come out to register, collect their PVC, but on the day of election, they don't show up. Why is it that way? And it's a case study of how to improve democracy in Nigeria. If truly we want to practice true democracy.
All right, just like you said, hopefully Professor Josh Amukmita and his team would take this as an experiment and very much in time reel out some of the practical tips and voter education on why it is important for people to vote in election. We'll take a break, and when we come back right after this break, we'll look at some of the political parties disagreeing and heavily screaming vote buying in this election in Anambra, and also open the phone lines for you to join the conversation. We will also touch down on PDP and its crisis. Stay with us.
The time is 7 a.m. from Wells Radio 89.3 FM.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I'm so sorry. Our network is... I will just run out of data. Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service. One Data? Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas!
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
Christmas is almost here, and Wells Radio 89.3 FM is bringing the joy closer to you. It's the Father Christmas Fiesta 2025.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle
happening live on the 11th, 12th, and 13th of December 2025. It's 3 days of joy, fun, and family moment that every child will remember. We are calling on churches, NGOs, schools, brands, and kind-hearted individuals to partner, sponsor, and spread the joy of Christmas to families across Ibadan and Oyo State. Let's make Christmas brighter together. For sponsorship and partnership, call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Sam on 0813 746 5878. Ayo on 0706 840 7359. Wells Radio 89.3 FM, celebrating Christmas the family way.
Now the ground is white, so grow it while you're young.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Welcome back to the program. This is still Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's #1 family radio station. We're still looking at stories from Anambra State and, of course, as reported by major dailies in Nigeria for today. You want to join the conversation? Let's have your thought as regards the result of the election in Anambra State, in particular. What this may mean for the 2027 general election in Nigeria. In Chukwuemeka's words, Anambra election has come and gone, but we must pick something out of it and learn from that. If 2.7 million registered voters is what we have in Anambra, and only 595,298 total vote cast, in fact, 598,000, accredited voters in the election. That's and of course 2.7 registered voters. Where over 2 point something is gone here. Where did they go to? Why didn't they come out in the election? What does this mean for the electoral system in Nigeria, where less than a significant number is deciding for the rest of the state? I want to believe that the remaining 2.2 million people who may not participated in this election still live in Anambra State. Why didn't they come out to vote? Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Let's have your perspective. Good morning, Adirun.
Yeah, concerning the Anambra election, despite the shout that there should not be vote buying, there is still vote buying. This is the same point to 2027 election, because due to the hardship, the state of economy in the country, why won't people engage in vote buying when they know that even their votes might not even count? So, which is not that I support vote buying, but which is not a good way to go. But due to the economy of the country, the hardship we find ourselves, the situation we find ourselves in, so people will surely engage in vote buying. So to me, this is a pinpoint to 2027 election, but still we'll still be clamoring for no vote buying if really we want democracy to take place.
Thank you so much, Aderunke, for capturing what you may call maybe poverty as a result of vote buying in the nation. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-893, and 0911-33334. That's 333-893, 0911-333-893. The candidate of the Labour Party in this election, however, is rejecting the result of the election, which is described as a sham. Dr. Mohalu of the Labour Party alleged that apart from vote buying, which he said was at alarming rate in the election, underage voters also was part of the issues that marred the election. According to him, the governorship election in Anambra State was a sham. He said, I hereby reject it in entirety It is not an election that has destroyed the record of governorship election in Anambra State. Now, looking at another candidate of the African Democratic Party, ADC, John Nwosu, also rejected the election results, saying the poll was heavily tinted, open vote buying that robbed the process of credibility. In a statement yesterday, Nwosu described the election as a national disgrace, insisting that the level of financial inducement witnessed at polling unit made the election anything, or made the exercise anything but democratic. Serap, one sponsor of vote buying probe, prosecuted also on this matter. Serap is also agreeing that we have vote buying in this election. As expected, you're expecting other candidates and political opponents to speak up. Would you take this vote buying allegation as a political statement coming from, of course, someone who didn't win the election, as maybe expected politically?
No, Ayo, it is not just if we regard vote buying allegation as a statement of those who didn't win, we will not be able to solve the problem. Remember, we had it in Ondo election when they came out with a lot of things. We remember we had it also in Edo State. It's a cancer. It's a virus that must be addressed if truly we want to have a genuine democracy. But the question now is, who is going to address this issue? Is it the police? Is it INEC? What is it? What institution can address this problem? And those who are arrested for vote buying or vote, where do we try them? Is it EFCC? Is it ICPC? So everything is just, when you talk of electoral reform, these are some of the things that should be included in any reform that we are going to make in order to have electoral integrity in our country. But we are not addressing these issues. The issue of vote buying kept on rearing its ugly head every election. Now, we are hearing of it in Anambra State, from 3,000 to 20,000 naira. And remember that if somebody buys vote from you, you don't have any obligation again to demand good governance. That is the problem of vote buying. And what is making people to sell their vote? Poverty. When people are poor, that's why I don't believe that if the policy of the government is working economically and people have something to eat, it will be some people. You will be very careful how you approach people to buy vote from them, because they are not looking up to you to feed them. But now everybody is down and out. That even 1,000, you covered the Ibadan North by-election. What did you see there? They were giving belebe. So people were giving sachet hot drinks in order to vote. How much? 1,000, 2,000. Anambra State is 3,000 to 20,000. You understand what I'm saying? So it is endemic, and it is something that we must address if we are transparent and sincere enough to have credible election in this country. If we keep on shying away and regarding it as a statement of those who didn't win, we cannot address it. Because it happened in so many states. It's not only then, and it's going to happen in other states. We soon have an election and other states as well. So they will take a cue from, if this thing is not addressed or nipped in the bud. Don't forget that before the election proper, this governor of Anambra State said he made a promise. Any word that gave him, people asked Amopito, is it vote buying or vote packaging? He shied away from that question. He didn't answer it.
What do you think that is?
That is vote buying, as far as I'm concerned. If you can come and tell people, you as an incumbent governor, we come and show people your scorecard. You don't need to induce them with money. But look at what is going on now in Anambra State, or what has gone on. Now, other states will have election very soon. And the other state buying, they will scale it up. If Anambra people are collecting 3,000 to 20,000, some states will even ask you for 50,000. You begin to wonder, the money we saved from removal of oil subsidy, where is it going? That's the question I keep asking. If we are sincere and transparent enough to have good governance and democracy, this vote buying of a monster must be killed. If not, reduced drastically, because it's not going to help us to have credible people who will come and give us dividends to democracy.
How do you rate Professor Joaisha Mokito's performance? This is first shot.
This is the first shot, and I have
at any election.
I have my doubts.
doubt as to vote buying.
Vote buying, yes.
But is vote buying an INEC thing?
It's not, but INEC
rather than individuals, Nigerians.
Excuse me, Ayo.
INEC's role is to conduct the election.
INEC should put its
Do you think INEC gave a good election?
INEC does not work. INEC does not work in isolation. INEC works with security operatives. You understand? INEC should make any inducement. What that thing that Professor Charles Soludo said before the election is enough to disqualify him. It's enough. If INEC should put his feet down. I'm not saying that INEC, from the conduct of election in Anambra State, if you ask me, because we didn't have ballot box snatching, nobody died. Only that I hear that there's some skirmishes between the police and the army. I didn't have the full details now. You understand? Because I'm getting reports from home.
From home, okay.
So we don't know. If you ask me, this vote buying of 18, and INEC is keeping quiet, we put a dot. We put a question mark on Amopito.
So if you're going to pass INEC in all things, in this particular one, vote buying may be the major one.
Yes.
That you would say INEC should focus on.
Vote buying and voter education.
Voter education.
11,244 votes.
Gone.
Rejected. Yeah. Why? Because people are not educated enough to understand how to do the thumb printing. And some people are even saying that the way they design the ballot paper, you may likely thumb print one and it will extend to the other. And that disqualifies the vote.
All right, let's open the phone lines again for you to join and, of course, share your own perspective on the program this morning. 0916-893-1000, 0915-334-893, and 0911-333-893. Let's come to the People's Democratic Party related story here. It's on the front page of the Punch for today. PDP crisis, 3,000 delegates set high stakes convention. Tension is mounting in the factional camp of the PDP as more than 3,000 delegates are prepared to converge on the ancient city of Ibadan, your state, for the party's national convention. The event, billed for the 15th and 16th of November 2025, has been a subject of controversy among the warring camps in the political party. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Ayo Emmanuel.
Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Yes, my name is Dave from Felele.
All right, Dave from Felele. Let's have your perspective.
Okay, my principal question is concerning the number of registered voters and the actual number of those who come out to vote. I think we are at this point where we need to call INEC to come and verify claims of numbers of voters who are actually, which they claim are registering. Because it's now becoming a norm. We see outrageous numbers of those who come out to vote who come out to register for INEC, and then at the end of the day, we see a different case. So INEC should give us proof to know that, okay, we can confirm, we can affirm that 2 million, 4 million, 6 million are actually registering, because it's now becoming worrisome. Is this a strategy or something else? God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your perspective this morning. Nigerians are concerned, worried, and of course, concerns also vary from quarters to another. Moving on to the PDP now. On one hand, there's a national working committee led by the acting national chairman of the party, Umar Damagum, which enjoys the support of the PDP Governors Forum, the Board of Trustees, and the Forum of State Chairmen, among others. Though outnumbered by Damagum-led camp, the faction led by the Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike is wielding tremendous influence, having elected its chairman, daring the governors to face it. Penultimate Friday, Justice James Omotosho delivered a ruling restraining the leadership of the party from going ahead with the planned convention. It also barred INEC from monitoring it, arguing that the PDP failed to comply with its own rules, which require certain designated officials to notify INEC of its convention. Now, following the ruling, Damagum-led NWC suspended the Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, to legal advisor, Kamaruddin Ajibade, and the National Working Organizing Secretary for a period of 1 month for allegedly anti-party activity. There's a lot going on in the PDP at the moment. It's a long read. We can continue to go on and on and on and on right now. The issue of the state or the party's convention is on the table. The judgment of Justice Omotosho is saying that INEC should not monitor that. Yet a faction of the party is still saying that the event is going to hold on the 15th and 16th of November this month at the Lake Salami State Sports Stadium or Sport Complex here in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. Let's get your thoughts in on this.
You see, Ayo, when it comes to anything that has to do with PDP, you see, that party truly disappointed a lot of Nigerians. You understand? And what is going on in PDP, we saw it coming, and it's not going to die down, because the party would have been a very formidable opposition to the ruling party. But you know, the fifth columnist went to work and put spanner in the works. And now the house can no longer stand. There is dichotomy. It is a Tower of Babel. Everything about PDP, everybody is speaking from both sides of the mouth. And exactly what we are expecting from PDP. Now, after all this problem, would you think that party will ever produce a candidate for the 2027? I don't think so. You understand? I don't think so. Because PDP the problem with PDP is that insiders propelled by outsiders working against the interest of the party. Yes, and that is why the party is dancing naked in the marketplace, and the center can no longer hold. You understand? So, and many Nigerians are disappointed that this party that ought to have been a very good, formidable opposition has now been whittled down. And the reason why, I said it last week, not that other parties don't have problem of PDP. They have. There's no internal democracy in all these parties. There's none. Because democracy is practiced by Democrats. How many of them are Democrats in nature? How many of these people? They are not. They want to dominate everybody. They don't want a place where somebody, and the kind of democracy we are practicing is the democracy, monetized democracy. Democracy of Baba Sokpe. Baba has said something. Everybody must follow. There's no internal democracy where you say your own, I say my own. No. Once you have money, you are all and all. You can have whatever you want to have. Once you are well positioned, you can dictate. But let's look at countries like South Africa and other countries of Africa. Parties are above individual. There's no individual above the party. But in Nigeria, individuals are above their party. That's why I don't call these things we have all over the place political parties. In a normal democracy, the party is above the individual. You are subject to that party. But in Nigeria, the party is subject to individuals. That's why we have a hybrid democracy. That's why these things we are doing. We are making mockery of everything that comes here. We bastardize it. Look at federalism, federal system of government. This thing we are doing, is it federalism? Up till now, no state police. Up till now, the center is controlling everything. Everybody goes to the center with a filling bottle to beg for money. Is that federalism? It's not federalism. So likewise, we have bastardized and prostituted whatever is called democracy. Look at the parties we have. Individuals will be telling the party what to do. In a normal climate, it is the party that will tell you what to do, because the party has a foundation. There's a structure. There's a laid down rules that you must not. There's a line you must not cross as a person, no matter the kind of money you have. But in Nigeria, it is the individual that will tell the party when to have convention, when not to have convention, what to do and what not to do. That is not party system. That is not democracy.
Let's take comments here. Sulaiman Sharif on Facebook says, "Good morning, and to everyone in the studio. When you win beyond reasonable doubt, it will be difficult to rig. That is what happened in Anambra State. How would they manipulate the figures to overturn the victory? Certainly impossible. There is always a power of incumbent in African politics, which makes it very hard to tell if the election is really free and fair. May we soon find the right path to good governance in Africa, in African politics." Thank you so much. Meanwhile, Senator Anyan was declared emphatically that the Ibadan convention would not hold. He added that if some party leaders went ahead with it, INEC would not monitor the election. In a telephone conversation with The Punch, Anyan said the convention, if held, will amount to a contempt of court. Whoever is organizing it will cause a problem for the party. Even if a governor organizes it, it won't stand. The law has spoken on that cause. A member of the Wike-led group and deputy national youth leader of the party, Timothy Osadolo, accused your state governor, Seyi Makinde, of aiding the crisis on the party because of his rumored 2027 presidential ambition. And while insisting that any convention without reconciliation of the aggrieved party members will further fracture the PDP, Osadolo urged Makinde to put the party first before his personal ambition. I would want you to speak to that.
To put the parties first before his personal. Where is the party? No, where is the party? When Wike was running up and down, attack, where is the party? You know, I keep saying what I'm saying. We don't have political parties. Look, I will give you examples of many countries where the party will call whoever that call himself a leader to order. This is not what you ask. You subscribe to. No. A party, first of all, must be formed on a level playing ground. We have a manifesto, we have guidelines, we have internal discipline, internal democracy. Because you cannot give people what you don't have. How can a man who is naked promise to give you clues and you are dancing that he has made a promise to you? It's not possible. The man is naked. You go to somebody's house and you see the person sitting down on a bare floor and you are asking him for a chair. Are you okay? You don't demand for that. So we don't have Democrats. What we have here, they're all businessmen, transactional, looking for where their bread is buttered. That's what they are doing. So there's no internal democracy and there's no political party. If there's a political party, I told you this story that when I was writing for a particular newspaper, and go and check UPN, led by Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Go and check NPP. Go and check all those parties. Go and check even NPN. Check their manifesto. Check their this thing. Check everything inside that place. You will see something. You see something that you see order. That these people, they know what they're. Check any of the parties we have currently. Tell me anyone. That's why personalities. Tell me any one of them where you look at their whatever that brought them together and you say that okay, they won't adhere to it. They won't. That's why many Nigerians are apathetical to anything that is called voting. Because people are tired, Ayo. People are tired. Look at what's happening in Anambra State. People are tired. What this thing we call party, what are they even giving us? What do they promise? Is there any promise? All right. What are they going to do? Do they even believe in what they are doing? That's the question.
Let's see if we can still get one or two more calls in. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-333-3893. Let's talk about the Christian genocide story here on The Punch. PFN, Islamic Council in verbal crossfire. The Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs on Sunday dismissed the allegation of Christian genocide in Nigeria. Hello, good morning to you. Oh, we lost that call. Please do call us back. Describing the information of the Christian genocide in Nigeria as false, dangerous, and politically motivated. And speaking at the press conference in Abuja, the secretary of the organization, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, accused the Western media and political figures of the allegation and saying there's a Christian genocide in Nigeria as part of an alleged coordinated campaign to destabilize Nigeria. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to
good
you.
Morning,
Good morning, Sheriff.
Happy New Week. Regarding the PDP convention, I think I want to urge the PDP members, it is time for them to go ahead and do it. It is very clear that the ruling party, they don't want we Nigerians to have a opposition party again. I can recall it vividly when Mr. President addressed some people in the National Assembly. He said, "It is my pleasure to see the opposition party in disarray." And all what Wiki is doing is the bid of Mr. President to destroy the PDP. It was a party that brought you to limelight, from the chairman to the commissioner, from the commissioner to the minister, from the minister to the governor. Now you want to destroy the party. So the PDP will go ahead to their convention, and we Nigerians, we should open our eyes. That's my own submission. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sharif, for your call this morning. Chukwemeka, please speak very quickly to the statement made by the Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs.
There's something I want to tell you, Ayo. If you want to know exactly what is going on in Nigeria, I want you to read You know, in 2020 under Obama, APC group went to Obama and alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria. Alleged Christian genocide. They told Obama that Goodluck Jonathan was not fit to protect the Christian population. They started the usage of the word Christian genocide. Go and Google it, you will see it. APC government did it under Obama. Now under Trump, the same thing is coming out again. Monarchs are moving left, right, and center now, going to Aso Rock, doing all these things in order to counter what. Why did they not raise their voice when a young lady was roasted in Sheku Shagari College of Education in Sokoto State? Why did they keep quiet when somebody again was roasted in Niger State? Why go to the Benue and Plateau State and see what is going on? How will somebody open his eyes and see the killings going on in the country and still say there's no genocide in Nigeria? How will somebody say that? How come everybody is now running helter-skelter? Is it Donald Trump that is disintegrating Nigeria, or people who introduced a legal system that has divided Nigeria into Sharia state and non-Sharia state? They have disintegrated Nigeria already. It's not Trump that did it. So what Trump has said is a wake-up call. Now we are hearing 700 people arrested, 700
and I'm just about to get to that.
700 people where are the people? Can they show us the people?
I mean, the federal government has disclosed that more than 700 individuals have been prosecuted.
We received the list of terrorism sponsors from UAE. Have they declared to Nigerians who are those people? Under Buhari, they gave us the list. Under this administration, Nigerians don't know the people. Why can't they tell us?
As we wrap up, what would you like to see now?
Government should wake up and take the war to these people, no matter who is shielding them. Nigerians are dying, both Muslims and Christians. That's what I'm saying. Must people die? When people say Muslims are being killed, must Muslims be killed? Must people be killed? Are we created to be killed? In a country with all of them are saying now, sovereign nation. So what is sovereignty when you cannot even protect your own people? What is sovereignty? You go outside for medical attention. You are coming from a sovereign nation. What is sovereignty? Sovereignty is that you take care of your people. So that is it. They should stop telling Nigerians all this cock and bull story. Take the war to the terrorists. You know them. You know where they are. If you don't know, call America to help you. Nigerians must not die, whether Muslims or Christians. That's where I stand.
We have to go. Thank you so much, Chukwemeka, for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
That's all we can take Oyo State on Perspectives Unlimited for today. Find more stories on your favorite daily. We read from The Punch this morning, The Vanguard and The Guardian. You can also pick any of your favorite dailies to catch up with updates and what's trending in Nigeria for today. Up next is AM Sports. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and I wish you all the best. God bless you.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.
89.3